Now, this morning we're kicking off the first of Pete Wedderburn's new series, Pete's Amazing Tales, with assistance dog Clive, who's not only rubbed paws with some of Ireland's best-known stars, but has also been a devoted best friend and assistant to Murray Whooley for the past 7 years. Clive, Murray and Pete, and indeed Clive's mum Fiona, join us now. Good morning. Right,
morning.
Pete, tell us about Amazing Tales, what it is, who's behind it, who's sponsoring it, and then why Clive is the first nominee.
Well, basically, I think that we recognise that animals make a massive difference to people's lives, and they often will transform people's lives in a really positive way. And so Amazing Tales, we're appealing to viewers to send in their stories of animals that have made a massive difference to their lives, and remarkable stories of survival and encouragement and just inspiring tales about animals. That's really what it's about.
Okay, and we'll have some nice things to give to Murray and Clive a little later on. Who's sponsoring this, by the way?
Maxi Zoo, the chain of pet shops.
Right, so our first dog is Clive. Tell us about Clive.
Clive he basically is a Irish guide dog's assistance dog, and he was one of the first ones to be produced. Irish guide dogs were, back in 2005, they were leaders in Europe in providing assistance dogs. These are dogs of the same breed, age and temperament as normal guide dogs for the blind, but they're trained specially to work with young people with Asperger's or on the autistic spectrum, and they provide them with they become a companion to them throughout their childhood, and they give them confidence, they help social ability, they support the family, because one of the big issues with autistic children is they tend to bolt in public places.
Keeping them safe.
A dog like this keeps a child really safe. So there's lots of really positive things about an assistance dog. And Clive, he's now nearing the end of his career. He's 9 years of age, but he's been a magnificent example, and he's taken Murray all over the world. They've gone around paw in hand and enjoyed themselves.
Well, let's talk to the man himself. Good morning, Murray. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Well, it's lovely to meet you. By the way, cool hat. I like that. Tell me about Clive. Is Clive your best friend?
He's always my best friend.
And I know that before Clive, travelling was a problem for you, but now with Clive, you've been able to go all over the world. So where have you been? What countries have you been to?
We've been to Spain, America, Paris, Euro Disney.
You love travelling?
Yeah.
Now, when you travel, can you take Clive with you?
I can take Clive with me.
So does he go everywhere with you?
Yeah, all the time.
Now, Clive is coming to the end of his working life. That means that he's going to retire. But that doesn't mean he's not going to retire from your life, though, is he? You're going to keep him.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you going to get a successor dog, do you think?
I'm going to get another Gondillo dog.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you'll have two?
Uh-huh.
Lucky man, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the difference that Clive has made to your family.
Well, we've had Clive in the family 8 years, and it's been a huge journey, and I suppose Murray has made fantastic success. We're terribly proud of his achievements over those years, and a huge amount of them we put down to having Clive in our lives.
What was life like before Clive?
Murray was very happy in his house, was always, once we kind of kept him within the confines of his home environment, he was great. Try and take him outside. You know, as you mentioned, travelling, the airport used to be huge, just the lights, the people, everyone around. It was so stressful for him. He used to actually make himself ill if we were trying to go anywhere. And then suddenly we got Clive, and it's actually hard now, 8 years later, to remember what life was like before that. You know, we literally suddenly could do things as a family once we had Clive. I have a daughter that plays a lot of football, and to go to a local football match used to be impossible before we got Clive. Now with Clive, we go into Croke Park all the time, don't we? Yeah, I mean, you know, we're season ticket holders now. We can go in. We've been there for All Ireland football finals. You know, just to be able to do that. So Clive, once Murray has him, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Just calms him down, gives him support, gives him the confidence to get out and about.
And would you have worried about Murray prior to Clive? I mean, did Murray bolt, for example?
No, he actually, I suppose, you know, the autistic spectrum is a huge spectrum, and children vary. The reason we had applied initially was he was the very opposite of someone who would bolt. He just wouldn't go out of the house. That was mine. I just couldn't get him out. I couldn't get him to socialise.
So Clive has taken him out of himself?
Totally. And I mean, what I love now is, like, you know, Murray was 16 this summer. Murray now walks him independently. He's now started to walk to school in the last month independently himself, and that's all been because of Clive. You know, I think just to see over the last year in particular how, as Murray's got older, that with the dog, he's happy now to take far more responsibility. And I mean, these are all independent living skills he has to attain going forward. And the dog has been absolutely, a huge
And of
part
course,
of that.
I mean, he's a big, he's a Labradoodle, so he's a cross between a golden
No,
retriever.
what is he? He's not a Labradoodle. He's a
Golden
a
Doodle.
golden
Oh,
doodle.
golden doodle, right, okay. And he's a big dog, which means he needs a lot of exercise, which means that if he's getting exercise, Murray, you're getting exercise too.
I am getting exercise.
Do you enjoy exercise?
Of course I enjoy exercise.
Well, not everybody does. Some people, but you're not lazy. You like it.
Yeah.
Okay. When you take Murray out, what do you do with him? Or sorry, when you take Clive out, what do you do with him? What do you do? What does he like to do?
He likes to go out for walks.
Every day, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And do you throw things? Does he fetch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiona, what's going to happen now as Clive comes to the end of his working life? He will go back to the Irish Guide dogs. They'll take his...
Well, he doesn't go back as such. At the moment he's leased to us from Irish Guide Dogs. So when he retires, he loses public access. So within the next year, I suppose, as they assess him and when they decide that, because he, like anybody, I mean, he has worked very well, but he needs to retire. So they take his jacket, he loses public access, but then we adopt him and he becomes our family pet, isn't that right? So he'll always, I mean, there's no way after having him.
But having said that, now without the public access then, so that means that Murray could be restricted. So you do need a successor dog for Murray to have the same sort of freedom of access and mobility that he had before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, it's not every adolescent with autism that would want a successor dog, but I think for us it has worked so well, isn't that right? They have such a bond that we very much going forward want to see Murray with a successor dog, isn't that right?
But Clive would always be number one for you, wouldn't he, Murray?
Yeah, he would.
He will be.
Apparently, obviously we can see how important he is and the difference he's made to your lives, but he's a bit of a superstar. He's met loads of famous people.
He has.
A lot of people. They've met Clive, not he's met them.
Well, that's what we always say, because he has his own blog, and what else does he have? He has a
Facebook and Twitter account.
Twitter account. And when we meet celebrities, we always put up the fact that, they've met Clive. That's important. But no, he's been great. And, I mean, we have lots of highlights over the years of people he's met. I suppose we're very involved with Irish Autism Action as well. So that's how we've got to meet, the likes of Keith Duffy and Niall Horan. Look at you.
Who was Murray's favourite to meet?
Who did you like meet? Oh, I know. Last year, very important. Who was Brendan O'Carroll, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mrs. Brown.
Oh, really?
Absolutely huge favourite in our house, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And Brendan O'Carroll has been incredibly generous to Irish Autism Action. So that was one of your favourites, wasn't it?
Yes, that was
Well,
one
look,
of my favourites.
there's a couple of things we want to do. Because you're the first in Pete's Amazing Tales, there's a little trophy for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, congratulations. That's for you. But that's for you. But for Clive, we have this over here, which is this. It takes two people to lift it, right? So have we got a shot of it? Oh, there you go, right? It's filled with all sorts of wonderful doggy treats and presents. It's like Christmas morning for a dog, okay? Except that it's in October. So that's for Clive and for you, and you can have great fun playing with him with that and investigating it and all sorts of. I'm not even sure what's in it, but I know it's. I know if I was a dog, if I was a golden doodle, I'd be very happy. Okay.
And that's thanks to Maxi Zoo. And I should mention Maxi Zoo are also doing a campaign called Give Paw, starting on Saturday. So they're asking the public to help them help charities in their area, animal welfare groups. Okay. So Maxi Zoo are doing good stuff here.
Thank you very much. Now, Pete, I know our Pet of the Week was a phenomenal success. I suspect this is going to be even more, and the stories we're going to hear will probably break our hearts and lift them at the same time. Thank you, Fiona. Murray, it was really nice to meet you.
Mark,
congratulations.
can I just say, particularly when people see assistance dogs and hear the story, there are lots of charities out there doing assistance dogs, Irish Guide Dogs, My Canine Companion, AADI, so people can Google them and can find out all about assistance dogs and how to go about getting them.
And they are incredibly expensive to train.
Yeah.
Mind you can't put a price on what they do for people.
Absolutely.
And they get little or no government support, if any.
That's one of our huge things, so we need the support of the public. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you both. Thank you, all three of you, very much. Now, is your pet amazing? Do you think that they're worthy of an Ireland AM Amazing Tail Award, whether it's a dog, a cat, a fish, or a rabbit? I'd love to meet an amazing fish now. That would be a good one. Anyway, we would love to hear from you. Simply send us an email to amazingpets@tv3.ie and tell us why you think. Is the idea, is the notion or concept of an amazing fish particularly amusing? Because it seems to have got everybody going. Anyway, if you have an amazing pet who has literally had a life-changing effect on you and your family, we want to hear about them. You can get to us through all the usual channels.